It's a little ugly. What did you hit? Oh, no way. Oh, man. You did it. Oh, my gosh. Ah, yes, it is springtime. My favorite time of the year. The air is fresh, the trees are turning green, and lots and lots of farm work to be done. Besides the general pickup with lawn maintenance, there's also equipment maintenance, getting everything ready for our first hay cutting. Last year was the first year that we had a breakdown-free hay season, and I was so thankful. All the time I spent working on the cutter and all the time I spent working on the baler, both of them held up through the entire season. And this year, we have something new we're going to add. We're going to put a backup camera system on the New Holland tractor to make sure that we don't have to spend our entire time doing one of these numbers, because that jacks up your back very quickly. Let's go. You gotta love it when people use the wrong size bolts and then they've got 2 to 3 different sizes. So the other ones are smaller than this, so I have to go find another one. That's the guy right there that we need to double check on. Sometimes it can get a little unnerving taking pieces off just because you don't know if you're going to get it back together properly. And that is honestly one reason why I have never pulled the chains off my baler. I know regular maintenance says you're supposed to pull the chains off, let them soak in, I think, diesel fluid, and then lube them up and put them back up here. But I don't have anybody to show me how to do that. And I'm nervous that I might put them on backwards, upside down, or anything like that. So I just go through and scrape them down with a wire brush, and then I go through and lube them back up again. But they definitely could use it. Shoot. Why? Anyone want to go get that for me, please? All Alright, so I know all of you guys have been waiting for an update on our baby Christmas trees. It has been almost a month since we planted our first round of baby fir trees. So let's take a look and see how they're doing. When we planted this particular group of Canaan firs, they looked about like this. These were obviously not open, these are all the buds, but they were all about this size. They were not very large, probably about 10 inches tall, if that. Now, they are growing by leaps and bounds. Check this out. Look at this. Look at this fellow. He's got almost 2 inches of growth just on his tips. Look at this. He's pretty much almost doubled in size just from his growth. We can see that almost all of the Canaan firs are completely budding out. Some of them are still pretty small. Others are growing super thick. This one is crazy thick. Look how thick this guy is. Now let's take a look at the Fraser firs and see how they're doing. Now these guys started out pretty good size, but look at them already. They're already getting about 1 inch of growth on them all over the place. They are really getting thick. This one right here is probably closer to what they looked like when we first planted them, but I actually think this might be a Canaan fir. Now this one hasn't started to break the buds open yet, so that's kind of curious. We also are noticing that it might be some sort of bug right there with that foam. But this one might have a little bit more shock and that might be holding him back, but the buds are swelling, so it is getting close. Here's another beautiful looking Fraser fir. Look at him, just gorgeous. These guys are all just blossoming. Look how large they're getting. This is gonna be crazy to see what they look like at the end of summer. I feel like we need one of those growth charts that you give kids and then you have like, this is what you looked like before, this is what you look like now. So I'm gonna have to pick like 1 or 2 that haven't quite sprouted yet and then put a little growth chart on them so that we can track their growth throughout the summer and see exactly how large they'll get just from one summer. They've really been enjoying all of the rain and all of the warm weather we've been having. Despite the complete chaos of this year's growing season, they're doing great. Now let's take a look at our bare root trees, which were about 2 weeks behind our potted trees. So far, this is the first one I've seen that's broken buds. So we've got some right there that are starting to break open and some up here. It's a little bit more strangely shaped. He's just not as nice as the potted. I haven't noticed too many of these breaking buds just yet, but they are about 2 weeks behind. This guy you can see is still having issues. He's obviously brown, but these are not falling off. So right here we've got some green still. Oh, look. This guy's just starting to break some buds too. So I think if we give these guys all another 2 weeks, I think we'll have a massive change in them. Look at this one right here. This one's looking very healthy. There's another one right here that's just starting to break buds. Look at these. These are really coming along. So just to give you guys a little bit of a price comparison, the potted trees were approximately $5 each. Surprisingly, the Canaan firs were the same price as the Fraser firs, even though the Fraser firs were quite a bit older. Now the bare root trees, we picked up for about $1, a little bit over $1 each. The biggest difference is they came from 2 different greenhouses, and bare root trees are typically less expensive, and we got them from Eric's boss, who bought a much larger quantity and therefore was able to secure a much lower price. I think he bought something like 5,000 trees versus our first lot, which was 500 trees. Now I know a lot of you guys have had so many questions about the trees. A lot of concern, a lot of skepticism, and don't worry, we will get you guys up to date, so stay tuned. Here's just a smattering of the videos that you can look forward to coming up this summer.
Commercial tree farm interview, our 8-year planting plan, irrigation, clipping baby firs, tree stump grafting, our marketing business plan, grass, pest, disease, and deer, cover crops, and new animals.
And if you have any other suggestions for things that you'd like us to cover regarding our new venture right here, please post it in the comments down below and we will take a look. We also may have another surprise coming to the farm. I can't tell you what it is yet because it is very hard. From what I found, there's only 4 farms in Michigan that have these. If it happens, you guys are gonna love it. Okay, so we have the FXT backup camera system. There is a link in the video description if you guys are interested in taking a look at it. This is a lower end on the price spectrum as far as backup cameras go. And this one in particular comes with 2 backup cameras, which is fantastic if you're running tractor equipment because you don't have to move them for every implement. So I'm actually going to be putting one on the back of the tractor so that I can monitor what's going on front facing implements. And then I'm going to put one on the back of the baler so I can monitor my bales and make sure they're all coming out great. So we have our monitor here. It comes with a cigarette lighter adapter. So we're going to take this and we're just going to plug it in down here like so. We have our unit here. Now, depending on your tractor, you might have a powered cigarette lighter with the tractor off. You might not. So this one actually is powered, so we can go ahead and turn this on. And it's not showing anything because we don't have a camera connected. These come with a lot of cord. So if you need to put them far away from a power source, you have enough cord to be able to run it. So I like things to be non-permanent, so that way I can use them on other features. So here's what I actually did. So I have these bullet terminals that I actually wired on there. So you can pick these up at most of your hardware or car part stores. So to make it easy, I actually hardwired this, or soft wired it, onto another cigarette lighter adapter. Man, these things are awesome because most vehicles, including side-by-sides, have these now. And I'm gonna plug this in over here. Oh man, that was instant. Look at that. So now we have to get this stuff mounted up.
So we're actually going to attach the monitor over here on this little handrail. Now the monitor comes with a couple different options to attach it. It has this special movable sticky foot. Once you stick it, it's pretty much in place. It has a special adhesive on the back so you can stick it all over your windshield. I actually don't want to do that because I might want to use this on something else. So we're just going to put it here on the handrail. I've got some special straps that I got. Velcro straps would be ideal. And then you just strap it onto the bar. Bars are kind of slippery, so we're actually going to add some special foam-backed adhesive tape that we're just going to wrap that bar with so that when we cinch down our Velcro straps, they don't flip around. So it should hold everything in place real well.
All right, we got our monitor all rigged up here. You can see my taping job. The camera is dangling outside at the moment, so let's go check it out.
So this camera system was actually designed to be directly wired into your vehicle's electrical system. Unfortunately, the electrical system on this tractor is so tight up around all of the lights and equipment that it's nearly impossible to access securely. So that was one of the reasons why I opted for the cigarette lighter plug instead of attaching to, say, the tractor lights on the top. Again, I like to have my systems portable, so to attach this to the back of the tractor proved a little formidable. It does come with self-tapping screws, so if you do want to permanently attach it to, say, the back of your tractor, you could. As far as securing it, well, I came up with a very interesting solution that utilized magnets. I tried to get them to magnetize through the glass, but even 60-pound magnets were not strong enough to pull that off. So I came up with another idea that fit this tractor perfectly and still allowed me to be able to move the camera to different equipment should I choose to.
It took some work, but I finally came up with a solution that's gonna work to get this thing mounted in my tractor. So guess where I finally ended up sticking it? Right there. No joke. That was the only place I could stick it on this entire tractor. Definitely not the problem I was anticipating. So I'll show you really quick here. But you can see the camera right there. My whole area right through there is all metal. This on the back end is all metal right here on the inside of the tractor right there. So I can move the camera to look out on the side of me, or I can move it to look straight out the back. This makes it portable to point it wherever I need it to go, and it's not permanently mounted. So if I want to move it to my car later on down the road, I can still do that. And then this is just magnetized right there. These are ceramic magnets. These were the first ones I got at Harbor Freight. I've got one on the top and one underneath, and together they form a really great bond. All right, now I got to get one rigged up on the baler. but that won't be till later on in the hay season. All right, so it's my birthday, and usually Eric doesn't remember my birthday until it's like a day or two later, but today he actually remembered it several days in advance.
Okay, Suzanne's getting her birthday gift today. It's a little early because her birthday's Saturday and today is Wednesday. In the back of my truck, you gotta go open the tailgate up. Alright, open the tailgate up.
Oh, where'd you find the batteries?
What's that paper?
Aw, so does this mean I get to charge my truck now?
Maybe if we can get them put in tonight, she could drive it to the last day of school.
Just in time for Memorial Day. I can get a new flag on my truck. I don't suppose you got me a gas car too.
No.
All right, so let's get this bad girl opened up. She definitely needs a wash. She hasn't been washed in, well, in several years. Good. So you said these were corroded?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to get a little brush.
Well, I've got the toothpaste and a toothbrush.
Oh, okay.
Or the... So we've had issues with these things getting corroded, and you guys gave us a tip a while back about using baking soda and water and putting it on there with a toothbrush, and it basically neutralizes the acid and helps break it off. It's already coming off.
What is that?
Baking soda and a toothbrush. An old toothbrush. A denture toothbrush is probably better because they're a little stiffer, but we don't have any of us using dentures just yet.
Is that chocolate milk?
No.
What is that?
Baking soda water.
Oh, I thought it was vinegar.
Vinegar? Well, it's kind of like vinegar. Vinegar is an acid and this is a base. So we have
that.
That is engine coolant that keeps it from getting too hot.
Was there a mice in here? Mouse.
I don't know. That'd be a good question. Watch your face. Back up. So this is battery acid that's leaking out. Do you remember how we open up batteries and they're exploded sometimes? So that's what this is doing here. So we're putting special baking soda water. See how it's bubbling up?
Mm-hmm.
And that just kind of cleans it all off.
Ew, that's dirty.
It is, but it's dirty with battery acid. This is how farm girls get up to service their vehicles. Also, you have big bumpers. So, if you're not familiar with diesel, this is the air filter, and it needs to be cleaned. So, with this type of air filter, you don't replace it usually, unless it has a lot of holes in it. You clean it. And even though we just did this 2 years ago, it needs it again just from sitting. Piece. So the inside of this is perfectly clean, which is what you want. And the outside is obviously very dirty. All right, moment of truth, will it start? All right, just in time for the rain to hit. Oh, yeah, she needs major detail work. Ooh.
Looked like it had a little bit of bush. It had a little bit of like bluish white smoke, which is not the best, but I think it's just from sitting so long. You guys want to hear a
Building.
real cold start?
Oh, you're gonna do your truck? That's not a real cold start because it hasn't been sitting for 2 years.
No, but it's been sitting for a couple hours. Let's do a cold start of that one.
Okay.
All right, get her down there.
Oh, we got the 7.3 going. Listen to that head.